Now, you brought up an excellent point that I kind of want to also transition into social media. To me, social media today is also a form of temptation. Oh, yeah. The way that people are using social media today, I mean, it leaves the door for so many problems.
Facebook
say.
is Match.com, eHarmony.
People are now. That's
Everybody
all they're
hooking
doing.
up.
That's all they're doing is using social media as a way to hook up. All this women crush Wednesday, man crush Monday. All you're doing is basically telling somebody, I'm checking you out, and I want to know, are you checking me out too?
Just liking a picture.
Yeah. So talk about the effects of social media on relationships today. I think that's a huge
I gotta relate that to younger people because they don't have this on ESPN. If y'all were watching ESPN all the time, you wouldn't have these problems.
See, my wife and I, we're not on social media.
And why is that? Let's talk about why is that?
Prior to us getting married, we were married in August 31st of 2013. And in June of 2013, as we were doing our premarital counseling and things of that nature, we talked about a lot of different things. And social media was one of the things that came up. And I'm the type of guy, I like to be proactive. If there's something that could potentially be an issue, I want to address it now before it even becomes something. Yeah. And in June of 2013, as much as I love to post pictures and let people know what I'm doing, I talked to my wife and we made a conscious decision to get off of all social media due to, different things that could come about. Because when you weigh the pros and the cons, the possible cons definitely outweigh the pros that we get out of social media. Because again, at the end of the day, the people that we love and we really talk to, we can send them pictures and things through text message and email. You know what I mean? Right. I don't need to be able to still talk to people from high school and all these different things. People that you don't really talk to anyway. It's just people just want to be in your business and know what you're doing.
Right. I will say, I've had that same conversation. But for me, we decided not to get rid of it because I get more out of social media than just posting pics. Like you said, I get a lot of news information that I don't have access to. Like I'm probably bigger on Twitter than Facebook. Facebook's probably more of a networking for close friends and family. But I get a lot of information that I don't have access to outside of social media because I'm into world events. I can't get the exact world events I want to see on MSNBC or CNN or even ESPN. Sometimes they have a shaded opinion. So I get a lot of stuff. So the pros still for me that I still get so much valuable information out of social media because I kind of try to use it the right way, especially like LinkedIn and stuff like that, that the cons or the distraction haven't reached that point. But I do agree to you, if it reached that point where the negativity outweighs the positive information I'm getting, then I'm going to, because I get a lot of information fed to me as opposed to having to go get it myself. And that's what and I think that's what social media was originally intentionally used for, and then it turned into the easy dating site.
And then one final point is that, remember how we talked earlier about our past. Mm-hmm. Our social media, it holds on to that past even though you're trying to create a new future. You know what I mean?
Right, absolutely. I think, again, it comes down to your intention. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm all over social media for many different reasons. But you do have to have that conversation, that especially if it's going to affect your household, your relationship. You have to have a certain intention when you go into using these things because it's the way of the world now. Yeah, right. Social media ain't going nowhere. And you're missing out on a lot if you're not a part of social media. I'll be willing to say almost to what you're saying. There's so much information that you could be privy to nowadays, depending upon what your career path may be, or if you're into entertainment. Now everybody is accessible. You can reach out and touch damn near anybody, that you couldn't in the past. I've had conversations with celebrities that would have never conversed with me via Twitter because it exists now. Right. And if you say an interesting thing or you are coming, and I like to address things in a positive light, if you spark up conversations to these people, you might get a response. And now that's a relationship that you have that you wouldn't have. So again, I think it comes down to intention. Now, for me personally, everything that I post, everything that I put on, whether it's Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, is calculated. I think before I post this, because once you put it on the internet, it's accessible to anybody. Right. And some people are naive to the fact that just because you've got a private setting on your stuff, that don't mean somebody can't get to it. So you have to be cognizant of what you put out there, and then also to address the potential of your past and people from your past trying to creep into what your current situation is, everything I post is either related to me and my wife, or me and my kids, or me and my friends. Well, I think we have all agreed that social media is a choice. You have to be careful with what you choose to put out there. Reggie brings up a great analogy of being on it, and now for the health of his relationship, he has decided that they have decided, rather, not to use it. So again, at the end of the day, it all comes down to what works best for your relationship. We're going to take another break. We'll be right back. You're still watching The Everyday Man.